Howdy all, it's been a while since I've done a video, probably a couple of weeks I think, no? Let's have a quick pat butchers at that. You know, one of the things I wanted to talk about in this video actually is more to do with like red pill and dating and stuff like that. And a lot of people often don't really want to make the association between being red pilled and then going ahead and dating, right? To some guys it's like an alien concept, like why would you do that? You know all the dangers and pitfalls, yet you still want to go and play with fire, right? Well, you know, if we're being realistic, that's because it's hardwired into us. It's that whole thing. You might be able to kind of argue for like a social construct, but I think it's just the way we are, and I think this is just my personal opinion on this one, is how we're psychologically hardwired into the type of, so I don't want to say the type of relationships or the type of people that we're attracted to, in terms of trying to obtain some form of air quotes romantic relationship. So the last video that was about, it was just about 2 weeks ago. I was talking about humans video there when again, you know, the views seems to be really fluctuating again. It's only had 34 views, 4 likes and all this sort of a thing. But whatever. Now on my time on dating apps, one of the things that I do recall seeing a lot of was the acronym ENM, right? ENM stands for ethical non-monogamy, right? Now if you're coming from a bit of a traditionalist point of view, you could say it another way. I suppose it's a free pass to become, I want to say, a free agent, right? And I get that this is where there's always going to be the differences between how men are judged for that kind of behaviour and how women are judged. See, if men do it, it builds up their status, as we know, right? The more chicks want a guy, for whatever reason that may be, I'm sure it's because his personality. It's always down to person. They always love the personality more than anything. It's never the money or the lifestyle, is it? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, they don't play contributing factors at all. No, of course not. You know, that's why they're quite happy to date someone that doesn't own their own home or doesn't have their own car or can't drive, doesn't have a license. Right? They're more than happy to date guys like that. Anyway, total sarcasm, by the way. That said, there are exceptions to the rule, of course, but for the most part, I'm just having a giggle with it. But digressing back, so if a guy acts ethically non-monogamous, and again the thing is with that is it is a double standard. There is no two ways about it, but it's just the standards of nature. This is just it. You know, if a lot of guys are attracted to, a lot of girls are attracted to one guy for a particular reason, maybe they're good looking, maybe they hit they tick all the boxes, then yeah, they're going to get a large following of chicks trying to, you know, tie him down, as it were, not just metaphorically, I dare say. But let's look at it from the other point of view. So when chicks, and they say, I mean, obviously I'm looking at, you know, girls, chicks, profiles and that. So for the most part, it's going to be like the girls saying, oh yeah, they want an ENM type relationship, right? So they don't actually want to commit. It comes down to that thing of wanting their cake and wanting to eat it as well, which I suppose they're well within their right to. But I think a lot of the time what they don't take into consideration is the effect that it has on them psychologically. Now, sometimes with some women it doesn't affect them in the slightest. They're batshit crazy, gone. They have no concept of loyalty and respect for their partner, and that is just, they belong to the streets, right? That's just the sort of chick they are. They're never going to change. That's always going to be the way. You can't make a 304 a housewife, right? I'm just saying. Now, when it comes to that, you know, the amount of sort of, and even I've sort of like considered sometimes, like, would I want that? And it's like, well, no, not really, because, you know, STDs are running rampant as it is, and if you've got people that are participating in ENM or ethical non-monogamous relationships, it gives them free pass to pretty much do what they want. And a lot of the time they'll take the perspective or the stance of, oh well, the guy that wants the monogamous relationship is just insecure about themselves. It's like, no, maybe they just don't want to go to the doctors every weekend, right? Maybe they don't want other people, you know, railing their girlfriend. Maybe they've got a problem with that. It's, you know what, there's been so much going on the internet with regarding this sort of a thing, especially for those of you guys that have been watching this new shit show clown world of Red Pill, that have been the latest content creators. And they've been about for a few years, but only recently I think have they more so tried coining the Red Pill thing and trying to take it as being theirs. And it's like, nah mate, you guys ain't, you're Red Pill in some aspects, but for the most part you're not. You're just doing it for clout and money. But whatever. But there's this guy, Adam22 his username is, and I think it's on Twitter, but he's been on with, like, I think it was like Fresh and Fit and Destiny and all these other air quotes Red Pill. It's like, yeah, alright, you're normies, you're all normies, I'm just saying, right? None of you are Red Pillars. You might be able to spit this, you know, spit what needs to be spat. You know about what to talk about. You can walk the walk, but no, you can talk the talk, but I don't think they're fully walking the walk. But that's just my opinion. Irrelevant, I suppose. Well, not totally. They're doing it for clout. They're not in it for the best intentions for men all round, you know, especially younger generations. To an extent they are, where they're kind of exposing the double standards of a lot of women and showing a lot of guys what a lot of women think, you know, asking them how they rate themselves, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm a 10. And I'm a 10, and therefore I want an ethical non-monogamous relationship, not realising that their SMV, their sexual market value, is actually plummeting with every guy that they go with, you know. And again, I would say it's not me casting judgment on them. Realistically, as a guy, I have to think logically and rationally about these things. And if someone has had a lot of partners that they were active with in the bedroom and that, you know, it kind of tells me a couple of things. Either they don't respect themselves a great deal, or they don't respect their partners, or maybe they're just generally unhappy and there isn't a person out there that is going to make them happy, and as a result they might find themselves going through a whole load of guys and, well, for the most part never being happy. But that's because it's a them problem, not the guy's problem. The guys are just reacting to the invitations that they get. It is what it is. But a lot of the time you'll see these chicks and they're like, oh yeah, they want this ethical non-monogamous relationship without realising the actual psychological impact and the social impact. And by that in terms of relationships and stuff like this, you know. I said it before, like all the OnlyFans girls, a lot of them now whinging that they can't find guys. It's like, well, guys, of course you can't find guys. What's special about you? You've put yourself on the market, quite literally speaking. You sold your air quotes assets, even if they are just photos. And a guy don't want to be taking some bird out to a restaurant to have the guy on the table next door with his mates are having a bit of a laugh at the valid for you, and they recognise the chick and they'll be like, oh yeah, no, yeah, I've seen you this. Man doesn't want to be hearing that at the table, man. He's trying to have his dinner with his new date, and he's hearing all this shit. It's just like, nah, check please, I'm done, I'm fucking out. But a lot of these chicks don't see the damage that these ethical non-monogamous relationships do to them. I mean, look, sure, it's fine all the time. You want to be free and easy and free love, and you want to be all this like hippie type mentality, you know. But realistically, it don't do you any favours. Not in the long run. I don't think so anyway. Like, I wouldn't go with someone that wanted an ethical non-monogamous relationship, because it's like, how many times a week am I going to start having to go down to the doctor to see if you've brought me something from someone that you've been with? So I don't want that. Like, I've got enough going on, and a lot of guys don't want this as well, right? And that's the truth of the matter. But of course, you, no matter how you put it, it's like, oh yeah, you just don't like women. You're misogynistic, or maybe you're just gay, right? Maybe you're that. It's like, no, it's none of these things. I just don't want to be with someone like that. That's what it comes down to. You know, like I said, the higher the body count, the higher of a potential issue it's going to be for them to pair bond and actually build on a relationship, because they're so used to behaving in a certain way within a relationship, And a lot of the time, if they don't get their way, well, then there's someone else there anyway, so they don't have to worry about going to that person, which in one aspect is kind of good. At the same time, it's like, well, it's not helping either person. But, and yeah, that's just like a 10-minute rant on ethical non-monogamous relationships. Personally, I don't think there's much ethical about them. I think it's just a polite way of saying that you just want to be a slut in a relationship. I'm just saying. Anyway, thoughts, comments and opinions. Till the next one, feel free to jot them down. Have a good weekend. Stay cool, stay free. Peace out.